and welcome back to another episode of Project Oarai. And man, did I spend a long time trying to look for some decent hospital buildings. It was insane. I say the word decent, but there's a lot of decent hospitals out there. But not for what I wanted. I was trying to do this from Google Earth and trying to keep the layout kind of that I could see there. It was very difficult. I have tried my best. There's some places that are a little bit different, obviously, but I can only do so much. So the buildings that you'll have seen from the beginning, they're already PO'd and attached to each other. And it's mainly, I'm going to have to look for something else other than OBS for recording my gameplay, because I don't know what's going on. It's getting worse. It'll record for like 3 or 4 minutes and then it'll just freeze. And the only indication that I get that OBS is frozen is that when I look at the screen, nothing's moving, even though I'm moving in game. But yet the timer in the bottom right is still ticking, is still counting. And even if I try to stop the recording, it won't stop it. And then the whole program just crashes, and then I lose all the footage. Even if I don't run on MP4, I run it on the other one. I can't remember what the name of it is. But basically, if you run it on this other one, whenever OBS crashes and stuff like that, it's meant to keep the footage up until the point where it crashed. Nope, the full file is just absolutely broken. Won't play, won't load, won't do nothing. And quite frankly, I'm getting sick and tired of it. I'm doing this again on a different computer, and it's still freezing. Like, I don't get it. All I can think of is I'm using too much memory with the game and OBS at the same time. And I don't know, with maybe the game has a memory leak, or maybe it's got something, and maybe the recording just runs out of memory while it's trying to record, or something. I don't know. Maybe I should go through my assets. Maybe I should just spend like an afternoon going through my assets, because what I think my loading screen now page file is at like 71 gigs. And I should really get that back down to about 50 or something again, because there's a load of assets and stuff that I downloaded for the city just so I could test them out, you know, like big skyscrapers and stuff. And I'm not going to use all of them, obviously, just a couple of them. So maybe I can free up something there. That's the only thing I can think of, because this constant crashing is, it's really starting to get to me a little bit. So you might see a couple of jumps here, there, and everywhere, and the point I was basically trying to make is the reason why the buildings were already PO'd and attached is because I tried to place them about 3 or 4 times individually, and it just kept crashing and crashing, and I thought, you know what? I'm sick of doing this now. So, yeah. I put them together, and I just put them down at the beginning because I was getting so stressed. So, yeah. Anyways, there's a few other points later on in the episode where some stuff's kind of just going to be a little bit jumping in and out, and it's for the same reason. Now, onto the hospital, because I didn't want to make a full-on big hospital. I wanted to save that for the city. I want to build like this big facility. If I can figure out where to put it, or where it's even going to go. But I do want to do a very big-ish hospital in the city. And I wanted this to be not like a luxury hospital or anything, if there even is such thing as a luxury hospital. But I wanted this to be a hospital that, let's say you're very wealthy, it's a very private hospital, and let's say you're like, can I say, maybe you're a businessman and you're like a millionaire, billionaire, whatever, and you've just had an operation done. Maybe you'll get sent here after you've had your operation to recover. It's private, it's got its own grounds, and you know, you're not going to be disturbed by people. So that was kind of the idea I had with this hospital. Just like a hospital where you go to recover. It's nice and private, out of the way. You know, it's in amongst the residential in the mountainside, and it's quite peaceful. I end up doing like a big open ground later on in the episode, with a little bit of water at the bottom of it. That water's going to be rigged up to the sea eventually, just in case you think it looks a little bit weird why it's even there. It's just because I'm building these areas in stages, so I know in my head like what is coming and how it's all going to connect. And so if you're thinking it's a bit weird to just have a pool of water there and nothing to it, but it is going to be connected to the part that leads out to the sea eventually. So obviously when the sea goes out, the water in there will go down. When the sea comes in, it'll rise up, obviously. But yeah, now I am liking how this is probably my favorite area of the hospital that we're working on right now. I know I put this on my YouTube community page asking you all what you thought, you know, what might be missing, because I'd built this and it was so weird. I was looking at it and I couldn't for the life of me figure out. It just looked not finished. Like there was something missing from it. And, you know, we had the mention of, oh, put some lights in the area and that type of stuff. And to be honest, I feel like after I added the lights, it kind of really set the area off. Because up until then, it was just like some trees and benches, and that were kind of it. So we put some bushes down a little bit later on. We put some decals down just to kind of flush the area out. And then we put some lights on, which look really nice. All right, then. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you now with the rest of the episode. I hope you enjoy. And like always, I'll see you all in the next one.